Shadows in the Haze, a chilling revelation. Chapter 10. The Final Confrontation. The damp, musty air of the underground tunnels clung to Alex and Sarah as they guided Martha to safety. Their footsteps echoed off the cold stone walls, blending with the distant sounds of pursuit. The weight of their grim discovery pressed upon them, propelling them forward with urgency and determination. "We're almost there," Alex whispered, barely audible above their labored breathing. Sarah nodded, scanning the deep shadows for any sign of danger. Martha stumbled weakly between them, her face pale and drawn, yet her eyes held a glimmer of hope. As they approached the tunnel's exit, the unmistakable sound of hurried footsteps grew louder. The society members were closing in, their voices bouncing off the stone walls in a cacophony of anger and desperation. Alex and Sarah exchanged a tense glance, silently acknowledging the imminent and impending confrontation. They burst into the open air just as the society members emerged from the darkness behind them. The sudden transition from the tunnels to the cool night air was jarring, but there was no time to adjust. The society members spread out, their faces contorted with rage. "Return the Guardian," one of them shouted, his voice cracking with desperation. "You don't understand what you're meddling with." Sarah stepped forward, her journalist instincts kicking in. "We understand more than you think," she replied, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. "I've documented everything. Your secrets, your rituals, your hold over this town, all to come to light." The society members hesitated, exchanging uneasy glances. Sarah pressed her advantage, her words sharp and precise. "Every disappearance, every cover-up, I have it all. The world will know what you've done." While Sarah kept the society members distracted, Alex focused on Martha. The former teacher leaned heavily against him, her breathing shallow. "We need to get you help," he murmured, scanning the area for the safest route of escape. But there was still one piece missing. "Where's Timmy?" Alex demanded, his voice cutting through the tension. "What have you done with him?" The society members shifted uncomfortably, their resolve crumbling under the weight of exposure. One of them, a middle-aged woman with graying hair, stepped forward. "He's safe," she said, her voice barely above a whisper. "We kept him separate, in case the ritual with Martha failed." Alex's heart raced. "Where?" he pressed, taking a step towards her. "Tell me where he is." The woman nodded towards a nondescript building in the distance. "There's a hidden room in the basement. He's unharmed, I swear." Without waiting for further confirmation, Alex and Sarah made their move. They backed away from the society members, who seemed rooted to the spot, paralyzed by the threat of exposure. As they retreated, Sarah pulled out her phone. "I'm calling the authorities," she announced. "It's over." They hurried towards the building, supporting Martha between them. The cool night air seemed to revive her somewhat, and by the time they reached the basement door, she was more alert. "Timmy," she murmured, "we have to save him." The hidden room was where the society member had indicated. Alex forced the door open, his heart pounding in his ears. And there, huddled in a corner, was Timmy. The boy looked up, his eyes wide with fear and disbelief. For a moment, he didn't move, as if afraid this was a trick. Then, with a cry that was half sob, half laughter, he launched himself into Alex's arms. "You found me," Timmy whispered, his voice muffled against Alex's chest. "You really found me." As they emerged from the building, they could hear sirens in the distance. The authorities were on their way, ready to unravel the web of secrets that had entangled Haze Haven for so long. In the days that followed, the town was turned upside down. The society members were arrested, their rooms and tunnels exposed to the light of day. Long-lost residents were accounted for, their fates tied to dark rituals that had sustained the cult's power. The residents of Haze Haven reeled from the revelations. They gathered in homes and cafes, sharing stories and piecing together the truth that had been hidden in plain sight for so long. The media ran coverage, and curious onlookers from neighboring towns flocked to Haze Haven, eager to catch a glimpse of the place where darkness had festered. Amidst the chaos and confusion, a sense of unity began to emerge. Support groups formed, community events were organized, all aimed at reclaiming the town from the shadows of its past. The resilience of Haze Haven shone through, a testament to the strength of a community determined to heal and move forward. For Alex and Sarah, the end of the investigation brought a mixture of relief and introspection. They had uncovered the truth, saved lives, and brought justice to those who had suffered. But the weight of what they had discovered lingered. As they prepared to leave Haze Haven, they stood on the outskirts of town, looking back at the place that had changed them forever. The morning mist was beginning to lift, revealing a town that seemed somehow both familiar and entirely new. "What do you think will happen now?" Sarah asked, her notebook clutched tightly in her hand. Alex shook his head, a small smile playing on his lips. "I don't know," he admitted. "But whatever comes next, they'll face it together, united. That's the one thing the society could never take away, the spirit of this town." They turned away, ready to face their own uncertain futures, carrying with them the vivid memories of their investigation and the deep knowledge that they had made a significant difference. The shadows in the haze had been lifted, the truth revealed, and in the process, they had not only solved a mystery, but also helped a town reclaim its soul from a dark legacy. As they drove away, the sun finally broke through the clouds, casting a warm, golden glow over Haze Haven. It was a new day, full of possibilities and hope. The town had been through darkness, but now, finally, it was stepping into the light.